It's another day of Drake taking L's. So according to the latest reports, J Prince and Drake might have had a falling out. But J Prince ain't no amateur. He didn't leave Drake to fend for himself. So what is it then? Well, Prince is apparently extorting him for money, and Mase is spilling the tea. But wait, how did Mase enter the situation? Well, he recently butted heads with J Prince, and he's using the opportunity to expose Prince's skeletons. According to him, the music mogul had the time to send a warning his way. But where was he during Drake's beef with Dot? Well, according to the picture Mase is painting, J Prince was slacking off while getting paid in full. Just how is J Prince extorting Drake? Has he really been reduced to a puppet? And is Mase going to be safe after pulling a move like this on one of the most notorious record executives in the hip-hop industry? Let's find after Drake ended up in the headlines. Apparently, he banned Not Like Us from being played in Houston. To be fair, fans don't blame the dude. At this point, Drake probably hears the song in his sleep. But you gotta admit, going as far as to ban the song in a city does seem a little petty. So did Drake really do it, or was it all just rumors? Well, DJ Airy responded to a tweet talking about Drake's move, writing, "Yeah, I done already got in trouble a few times for playing it at some clubs." And after that, we got more reports. One person said that clubs like Sekai, Clay, Comp, and Prospect Park were some of the ones that didn't allow Dot's track to be played. However, what DJ Ari probably didn't expect was her tweet to go viral. And when the situation got out of hand with people clowning Drake for stooping so low, Ari decided to break her silence. And guess what she had to say? She posted an IG story with the caption, "Headlines can be misleading. Drake nor J Prince never told me not to play the song. Promoters and people that respect those guys told me not to, and it was understood. That's it, that's all." But ladies and gentlemen, no one expected Drake and J Prince to actually give out the orders personally. Of course, there's gonna be a middleman. One person commented, "Wait, who TF thought Drake and J Prince were directly telling them not to play it? Almao." We know they didn't directly do it. They had others do it for them, obviously. But that's not what I want you to focus on here. The elephant here in the room isn't the fact that Drake had Not Like Us banned in Houston. It's the fact that he had to use his own connections and money to make it happen. I mean, what happened to all those mob ties that he was boasting about? What happened to J Prince? Where was he during the beef? Well, it looks like J Prince might have taken Drake's money and made a run for it. J Prince and Drake's long history. See, J Prince and Drake have been in the same boat for years now. Back in 2007, J Prince's son, Jazz Prince, who was only 19 years old at the time, went looking for an artist to bring under his wing. And that's when he came across Drake's MySpace page. Prince Jr. apparently liked what he saw, and before Drake could fully make sense of what was happening, he was on a plane to Houston. Jazz put him and Lil Wayne in the same room, and the rest, as they say, was history. The young Canadian rapper with big dreams signed a deal with Cash Money and Aspire Music Group, with Prince reserving the rights to 33% of the rapper's money. To be fair, things weren't always smooth between the two parties. Prince even filed a lawsuit against the two companies, saying that he wasn't compensated. But Drake and Prince never let the financial or legal issues come between their friendship. Regardless of the troubles, they kept hanging out. And I know what you're thinking. These two are good friends. But that's not it. You see, J Prince came from nothing. He grew up living a dangerous life on the streets of the Bloody Nickel apartments in Houston, surrounded by illegal substances and weapons. Safe to say, he knows how to throw a punch or two. So one of the reasons Drake kept it cool with J Prince all those years was because he needed protection. We all know Drake's no gangster. I mean, compared to his American counterparts, the dude's pretty vanilla. But Drake does move around in the US, and the streets are not exactly safe, especially for someone like the Canadian rapper, who's made enemies along the way. And this is where J Prince comes in. J Prince's tyrannical rule. You see, after 40 years of being active in the industry, J Prince is looked at as someone who shouldn't be messed with. But even though he discovered Drake, he wouldn't be giving out his services for free. Like most folks, J Prince goes where the money is. And so it's highly expected that Drake had J Prince on the payroll to fight his battles. I know that you think this is probably far-fetched, but this has been going on in the hip-hop industry for years now. The dark side of hip-hop. Even Kanye West didn't have a choice but to give into the system. Back in the day, things kinda went sideways for Ye during his trip to Philadelphia. He may act tough behind a camera, but no one thinks of Kanye as a thug. Instead, he's more of a suburban rapper, and that's why Ye had to call in an expert to deal with the situation. Surprisingly, that person turned out to be Beanie Siegel, who later went on to talk about it, enough to get out of there, because Rick Ross sure wasn't. The rapper was said to perform at Detroit's Hot 107.5's Summer Jams concert back in 2014, but he wasn't allowed to enter the city as he was surrounded by a total of 100 individuals. The stakes were high. The program director, Jay Hicks, told Hip Hop DX, "I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to be real as EFF. We had Rick Ross right outside here tonight. At about 11 when he was pulling up to come into Cheney Park, he was met by 100 individuals outside. We have tried to pull every resource together and asked him to come back. He is in fear of his life." Entry. Well, he failed to get permission from Detroit native Trick on his track No Fly Zone. The rapper said, "I'm just a phone call away. Come in without permission. I don't want to hear you got to say." But Rick failed to take his words seriously and paid the price in the form of public humiliation. Heck, Trick even owned up to messing with Rick, telling Billboard, "To all those who want to know what the no-fly zone is, please go to 117 on this video and quote me there." This is what they call checking in. And over the years, it remains a central part of the hip-hop industry. Of course, fans don't approve of it. One person commented, "Checking in is the dumbest to me. Taylor Swift and Bruno Mars ain't checking in. Neither is the Walmart and McDonald's that they're building to be there for a long time." But these dude got the nerve to tell a rapper trying to feed multiple people with their talent that they have to pay you for performing their talent to people who live there. I can't get behind that. It legit be your own people. But despite people raising their voices, things haven't changed, and Jay Prince actually managed to turn this into an opportunity of a lifetime for himself. Over the years, the record executive has made it a point to protect the rappers under his wing. Think of him as a bodyguard. Back in the day, NBA YoungBoy had his house robbed, and Jay Prince posted a video with his stolen items. A lot of folks think that Jay Prince was doing YoungBoy a solid by getting his things back. But you see, it's not that black and white. Turns out that some fans think that Jay Prince was the one who staged the robbery since YoungBoy didn't pay his respects to him. Heck, NBA YoungBoy even ranted about the situation. Fortunately, YoungBoy lived to tell the tale. And the only reason is that he didn't owe a debt to Prince, because if he did, this would have been a whole different story. Ask Tekashi69, he knows all about it. The rapper thought he was doing something by rejecting the checking in culture. He stepped into the ring with Jay Prince and his crew, and let's just say he got the Rick Ross treatment. Back in 2018, 6ix9ine pulled up to Jay Prince Jr.'s birthday party. But Jazz Prince and his crew didn't let him set foot in the venue, making him pay for stepping out of line. Safe to say that Jay Prince is not a guy you want to mess with, but if you play your cards right, he can be the card up your sleeve. And that's exactly what Drake did. He paid his dues, and as a result, he got Jay Prince doing his bidding over the years. Jay Prince ended Drake's beef with Kanye West and even had some words for his boy, NBA YoungBoy, when he disrespected his boy. And get this, remember when Drake and Pusha T were at each other's necks? Yeah, well, Jay Prince is the one that stopped that beef from getting too out of hand, if that was even possible. Back in 2018, Jay Prince sat down with radio personality Sway and said, "I saw this going to a place that I feel would have ended his career if Drake would have put out this song that he had on him. And it's beyond music at that point. It's going to affect the livelihood. It's going to interfere with his whole lifestyle from that moment." He also said that the track would have definitely hurt families, and that's not the kind of person Drake is. Well, if only he could see him now. Wait, he can. Well, is this the reason why Jay Prince has been silent about the beef? Because it's definitely not like he retired or something. Jay Prince is still active. Yeah. And he actually ran into some trouble with Cameron and Mase. During an episode of the sports talk show, It Is What It Is, the pair got to talking about Shakur Stevenson's latest fight, and Mase decided to ruffle some feathers by calling Shakur's fighting style boring. This led to Shakur responding to him on social media, and eventually Jay Prince got dragged into the situation as well, since Shakur is one of his boys. He wrote a fiery message on IG saying, "Let the haters say that he's boring and nobody wants to watch him. Sorry to tell you, it's just a select few of you haters." As you can see, there's proof that he has the #1 ratings in any fight on ESPN this year, and the top 3 ratings since 2022. And to all of you haters who want to escalate that hate outside of the ring, I'm Shakur's manager, and I handle all his business outside of the ring. In other words, Cam and Mase, I will fade all his shots and take all bets. And well, Cam and Mase weren't going to let the matter die down that easily. They fired back, and let's just say we don't see this heading somewhere good. At that point, Mase was playing it safe. But then Cam and him abandoned all hesitation and went for the jugular, asking why Jay Prince chose to stay silent in Drake's case but openly attacked the two of them. Question is, why is Jay Prince backing down from a fight with Dodd? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? He got cold feet and abandoned Drake. but you bet your entire life savings that he's still living off Drake's money. And so it's like this. He's getting the checks but not doing his job. And that's why Drake had to take control of the Houston situation himself. If J. Prince had been on top of it, Drake wouldn't have needed to lift a finger. And there's another theory as well. Some sources say that J. Prince is pissed at Drake. He didn't want him to drag the beef. Just look at what he did during his beef with Pusha T. J. Prince was never one to fan the fire. He has always been one to bury the hatchet with his eye on the ball. But Drake didn't listen this time, and that's why he's got himself in this situation. He can't exactly dump the dude since he's kinda all he got when it comes to mob ties. As for fans, well, they think there's definitely some truth to the rumors. I mean, J. Prince is only interested in money. One person wrote, nah, more likely J. Prince stopping the beef like with what happened with Pusha T than anything escalating to physical harm. J. Prince wants to keep that income coming. This comment was made in a thread discussing the possibility of the beef between Drake and Dot escalating to violence. Meanwhile, others think that J. Prince needs to stop his gangster ways at this point in life and maybe let Drake think on his own for once. One person commented, J. Prince trying to crash out at 60 years old. But what